Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your boy Krebsy Crypto, and I am back with another video slightly different than like a tutorial or anything I do. Today I will be showing you an Antminer S9, and I have this currently working on 120 volt, and obviously it's underclocked with Braiins OS, but currently I'm using the Antminer S9 as one of my solo miners for Bitcoin. As you can hear, it runs really quiet. I'll just stop talking for a second here. The fan's only running at about 5 to 10%, so as you see here, it's nice and quiet, like compared to even some of my other rigs. If I were to take you to my mining room, you can kind of hear the difference. But if you were to have this set up, I have it set up in my kitchen right now, but this would be fine to set up in even like an office space, your bedroom, something like that. It doesn't produce much heat. It's pretty quiet overall. Well, it does produce some heat. I shouldn't say it doesn't like produce any heat or anything, but it's a pretty like cool way to make use of the S9s. Now everyone I know is gonna be like, oh, why don't you use a bit-axe? Why don't you get a bit-axe? But a lot of those anymore are going anywhere from like 150, 200 up to $400, $500+ when you can just go pick up an S9 for anywhere from $20 to $40, even a little more, a little less, depends where you get them. I have about 3 or 4 S9s. I've had them for a few years now. I never really ran them too much on like pool mining because when I got them, they were already kind of outdated. So I got them for a pretty cheap price and my friends sent them over to me. But this one right now, with my setup I have running, it gets about 6.5 to 6.8 terahash per second, and that's only running 2 boards. I can just tune it down to the 1 board, but I like having 2, that way I'm above like 5 terahash at least. You can hook up the 3rd one, but then at that point it doesn't become efficient. So if you really just run these with the 1 or 2 boards, it's going to be your most efficient run for the S9. Because a lot of people like are gonna say, oh, the power consumption, this and that. Obviously, compared to a bit-axe, yes, this is gonna use a lot more power, but I feel like it's a lot more dedicated of a rig. It's a lot cheaper as well, and it's pretty quiet, just like a bit-axe would be as well. So right now, for example, like I said, I'm getting about 6.5 to 6.8 terahash, sometimes goes up to about 7 or more. And it's using about 700 to 740 watts. Now I know it's quite a bit compared to like a bit-axe that uses like 100 watts for like 6 terahash, but then you're spending like $500 or $600 sometimes on some of these bit-axes, especially being in Canada myself here. It gets pretty expensive for bit-axes and purchasing. And of course you can tune this down even more, so if you are very limited on power and maybe you just want something that gives you like a couple terahash, you can unplug it and run it on the 1 board. I've got this running, I believe it was like 2 or 3 terahash at like 200 or 300 watts. I've seen some people get them down to like 150 watts. And mind you, this is just running on your standard outlet here, 120 volt. So you can run these. I've ran this for some time now. I've been doing some test runs with it, changing all the tuning and configuration. Now, of course, overall, this is my main mining room. I am still mining just fully. I do solo mining for fun. I still have my Z9 minis. I have my A9. I have an L3 there. I still got my Z9 over there. And here's my 2 other S9s that I'm gonna get hooked up and running. Obviously, they're a little dusty. I've just been having them stored in collection here. But yeah, you can take any of the S9, S9J, S9i, I think there's a few of them. And if you boot them up, you can just plug in, like for this one, you can literally just plug in 1 board to get started if you're using the 120 volt method like myself. So you can go ahead and just fire it up with only 1 board hooked up, and that shouldn't take enough, even if it fires up mining or anything, it's not gonna take enough wattage from your wall to cause any issues. So if you fire it up like that, and then you can run the Braiins OS tool. It's a wireless tool that picks up on your Antminer through the internet connection. So you fire this up normally, you jump to your computer, run the Braiins OS software, and it installs over the internet or Wi-Fi. I plan eventually to upgrade to like an S17 or S19 because there's modifications out there to run those on 120 volt as well. I can get an I think it's S19. I can get one of those and have it run about 1,000 watts, about 1,000 to 1,200 watts, and you get about 54 terahash on that, and that's with only slight underclock. So you can obviously work with it because these are good, yes, for solo mining. You keep them running, they can heat things, stuff like that. But nowadays these are getting very old. So eventually I'm gonna get something like S17, S19, S21, and I'm gonna modify it. S21 I might not, but the S17 and 19, I can get them pretty cheap, and you can, like I said, you can physically modify the boards here, or you can use some software and you can trick the power supply so that way it can run on 120 watts with the S17 and S19, and then you can tune it all the way down. There's a few cool features, and again, comparing like 6 terahash or 7 terahash at was it like 700 watts or something like that, where I can just go ahead and get the S19, let's say, run it at just over 1,000 watts and get way more than double. So I can get 54 terahash at about 1,000 watts for the S17, or sorry, S19. I know there's a lot of different ones in here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this up and running. I'm going to jump over to my computer now, and I'll go over the Braiins OS software, show you the pool I'm mining to and everything. Again, this is solo mining. I plan to set up another S9 as well, maybe underneath of it here, and then I'll run both of them, and I'll be getting around like 12 terahash. Again, these aren't the most efficient things. If you are kind of constrained with power, obviously your bit axes and stuff like that are going to be your better route. But if you want to spend less on the equipment and maybe a little more just paying your normal hydro bill out of pocket like you do, like myself, I pay every month. My hydro bill is very cheap, so I just cover all this out of pocket instead of going and spending like $400 or something on an equivalent bit axe. I'll take the hit on power a little bit, because at some point you're gonna have all these bit axes running and consuming power and money. You know, let's say you want like 3 or 4 bit axes, that's gonna run you up so much money when you can just pick up these for like 20 bucks and just have 1 or 2 of them on, and plus it adds some heating. But now we're going to jump over to my PC and I will show you all of the S9 details on Braiins OS here. So now we're over on my PC here, and as you can see, this is the Braiins OS dashboard. So once you have Braiins OS all installed and set up, once you boot the rig up and go to the IP that it normally has, this will be your new dashboard here. And as you see, there's some stats already off the hop here. They have a live chart so you can see the temp and then your actual hash rate. So as you see, it shows your real hash rate. So like I was saying, it jumps between 6.5 to 6.8 terahash. It shows the highest temp here. So right there is about 89, but that's about a safe temperature for an S9. You will notice that mine here is blank for estimated efficiency and power usage. That's because I have the auto tuning disabled. So I manually tuned these boards so that way they work for my setup. You can do the automated tune. It's just mine errors out after like a few hours of running, so I can't seem to figure out why, but when I manually tune it, it runs a lot better and doesn't have any issue. So if you do have issue with the auto tune, you can still manually configure it. You'll just have to find certain voltage and I forget the frequency as well, I think it is. And once you have those figured out, you can go ahead and set that manually. But I use ChatGPT for mine, I'm not going to lie. So it just kind of gives you a rough idea and how much power usage. Of course, you want like a wall meter or something to see the actual output, because the dashboards tend to be a little bit off. The next one here, as you see, is pool status, and that's alive. So that's telling me that's connected to the pool, obviously. And then tuner status is disabled because, like I said, the auto tuning is disabled. So once you have it enabled, it will show enabled here. So as you see, the fan monitor here, it doesn't actually ramp up too much. It stays between like 5 to 7%. So it doesn't get high RPM, at least with my setup and my airflow. Of course, maybe if it's in a tight concealed area, or if it doesn't have good airflow or something, the temperature and fans may run a lot higher. But my apartment here up on the 3rd floor is nice and has good airflow and everything like that. And then once you come down here, you're going to see your actual hash boards. So you can enable which ones. At the beginning, I believe all of them are enabled. So you just have to disable which ones you have unplugged. And like I said, it shows all your voltage and your temperatures and your actual hash rate. So obviously, it's not the best hash rate for power usage. But again, it's a cheap solo miner if you can afford the electricity at extra cost. And then there's your pool address and everything. But the main thing you want to focus on, like I said, is the configuration. So once you come into the configuration here, you're going to have pools, and then you're going to have your stratum pool here, which is where you're going to mine. I solo mined a CK pool, so I use theirs. with the Bitcoin address and then the worker name. So same setup as you would with any other mining rig or ASIC, or even like the stock firmware. It's the exact same setup there. The main one you want to look at is performance and temperature and fans. So if you come over to performance here, it's going to be enable auto tuning, and this is what's going to allow you to automatically tune so you don't have to worry about it. But before you do that, you want to make sure you have your hash boards enabled or disabled. Depending if you're only having one running or two running or three running, you can just disable and enable which ones you want. And like I said, I manually tuned mine here, so here's my settings. This one I had to turn up the voltage because the hashboard number 7 I have a little bit of trouble with. I don't know if it's the connection cable, the actual hashboard, or I have to kind of diagnose it a little bit. But I noticed when I turn up the voltage just a little bit, it seems to fix it so far. And then this is just a global hash chain, so you can set it as your default, but this one will override these settings. So you can enable auto tuning, and like I said, you can set a power target. So some of these, some people have got it down to like 200 watts, obviously with like one or two boards, but it only gives you like 2 or 3 terahash. But again, it just depends how many watts you actually want to use. Again, I'm still adjusting mine, so I may bring down the power a little bit. I still may bring down the power a bit and see if I can get an even hash rate for power. So maybe I'm not, instead of using like 700 watts, I can crank it down to like 500 and see what that brings. But again, you can set the default here. I usually suggest leaving it between 7 to 800 if you are running like 3 boards, because this is your total hash rate, like it says power target for all hash boards. So minimum is 100 and max is 5,000. So if you have all 3 running and you have 850, it divides that up by 3. So then it breaks it down to what, like 300 or something, give or take 250, 300 watts or something like that. I'm not good at the whole mental math here, but it brings it to that total that you put in here. So if you put 800, it will equate it, break it into 3, divide it by 3, and that will be your wattage per hash board. Or you can set a hash rate target, but again, I just focus on having a power target because that's better than a hash rate target in my opinion. And other than that, I don't really mess with much else. The dynamic settings I've never really messed with, so you can figure that out if you want to venture to that. But again, I have mine off, so I just manually set it. You can look on Google, or like I said, I use AI, I use Chat GPT, and it gave me good settings for, I put in about 700 watts, so it gave me good settings for roughly that. Again, the dashboard's a little off when it comes to that. The next one here is temperature and fans. So this is how I have mine set up. I just leave it auto. So obviously that temperature is safe because the fans are running at auto. If it was too hot of a temperature, the fans would be ramping up. You can manually set them or disable them. I don't know why, unless you're doing immersion or something. That's how you would disable them. I assume that would be immersion mode, but I've never messed with that. But you can set a target temperature, your hot, your dangerous temp, so that way it's safe and doesn't overheat or blow up or anything like that. Fan control, like I said, is immersion. I never mess with that. I put 2 required fans on boot up just to make sure both fans are always working and they're fine. And of course, once you have your settings, you just want to click save and apply, and that will apply it and reboot it, and it should be good to go. Same with performance. Once you're on here, you want to click save and apply once you have it all set up. And then once you're up and running, it'll look something like this. And obviously the estimated efficiency and power usage may be working for you if you have the auto tuning on. So if you want to look more into Braiins OS or download it, you can look at it here. This is not sponsored or anything, by the way. I just been using this to kind of underclock and overclock things for like my ASICs. You can see all the supported models and everything. So you can come over here and download it. And again, you can do it remotely. So if you have the S9 running on your network, you can use your computer like the one I'm using here, and you can use their tool to remotely install the firmware, so you don't need to use any SD cards or worry about downloading this or that. It's just they're all in one program. And once you're up and running, if you're using like CK Pool, you can just put your address into here and you can see that it's all up and running. So we can scroll down here. As you see, I have my S9 running, and like I said, it's the highest one I have, and it's been running for about 24 hours or about 1 day or so, and my best share is about 110. I also have my Nerd Axe 500 gigahash. The best share is 949 mil, but that's been running for like weeks and weeks on end. So I feel like the S9 honestly is going to contribute a little bit more and maybe a little bit better luck. You can track all of it. It gives you the odds on finding a block, but again, it's all lottery. You could totally find one in a day. You can maybe find one in 10, 20, 30 years. Like, it just depends. There's no guarantee. It's just like the lottery. But the more tickets you have, the better chance you have. So again, I have like 3 or 4 S9s. So if I get a maybe few of them running at like each 500 watts or something, it might be kind of worth it. But you got, like I said, you got to balance in your situation what's better. If you want like a bit axe or nerd axe because it uses less power, but you're investing more money in the physical device, or you buy cheap devices like the S9s and even like S17s and stuff are pretty cheap right now, and you just run one of those instead of like 10 of the bit axes. Like, it just depends on your power costs and your situation. I'm not like recommending to go out and run S9s and stuff like that. These are definitely not to pool mine or anything with. These are totally just a solo mine. Like I said, they're good for just a little space or something, or maybe if you're new to crypto and just kind of want to learn, you get something cheap like this. But if you are wanting to pool mine for whatever reason, I would suggest maybe Quai or something like that because it's multi-algo and it allows you to use like older equipment like the S9s and anything on SHA-256, Kapow, or script as well if you have old L3s and stuff. But again, I know I'm kind of going off topic. But yeah, this is kind of like a clean setup for S9s. Again, it just depending on your situation. As you see, my uptime is 1 day. I had to reboot the actual mining software because you can reboot the actual device or you can just restart the boss miner, which is this OS here. So I had to do that quickly because there was an error with my S9. You probably seen when I was recording that red light flashing. So I just rebooted that quickly and it seemed to fix it. Again, when you are underclocking or overclocking, there's always a possibility of wrecking or damaging hash boards, power supply, anything like that. So just keep that in mind. You might run into errors after running it for so long. And like I said, my 7th board here is seems to have issues. So I had to keep an eye on that, maybe tweak around with these, or maybe it's a cable or something. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, it's a fun little thing if you are kind of like me and you just like messing around with mining rigs as well as obviously mining. But if you're just kind of like a tech guy, this is kind of something fun to do and learn. Once I do upgrade and maybe get some S17s and stuff, I'll make a follow-up video there. But yeah, hopefully this video brought some information to you. Hopefully you got some insight. Maybe you have some old Antminers lying around and maybe Braiins OS or one of the OSs will allow you to modify it so you can run it again as like a lottery miner or something of the sort. But if you did enjoy, make sure that like and subscribe button as it lets me know you're getting something from this content and you're enjoying it. But again, I hope you all have an amazing day and hopefully you end up hitting a solo block. Again, it's just all luck. But I hope you all have an amazing day, and this is Krebsy Crypto signing out.